that time I was studying for a law degree in a London university. But when I look back, it was actually I could see there was reasons way before being a student what actually led me to actually be open to the message of Islam. And I just wanted to just sort of explain those reasons. Firstly, I just grew up, had a very happy family life, great family, really close, loving family, and I was just like a typical teenager through my high school years. But for some reason, I just I wasn't happy with the way that I was living my life, and I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't feel proud of myself, or what have you. And I remember, distinctly lots of times when I would actually be in bed at night and I'd pray to God, and I always remember saying that, will I ever feel happy with the way that I'm living my life? Because I didn't know an alternative. So I was just going along with the flow as everyone else was doing, and nobody was saying that this was wrong, but it just didn't sit right with me. So I think that when I look back, I didn't know at the time, but when I look back, that was a seeking or a yearning within me, that I was looking for a different way. When it came to and another factor that which I think played a major part in me being open to and taking it more seriously when people did start talking to me about Islam was in my last school year of high school. It was quite a traumatic year for me, and I experienced quite a few number of deaths of people that I knew. So it started first with my granddad. He passed away from cancer. That was like in the summer holidays just before I started my last school year. And then quite soon after we returned to school, there was a boy that I knew, and I remember distinctly seeing him arriving at a friend's house, and I remember his silhouette at the front door. He fell off his motorbike in wet weather, got hit by another car, and within days he'd passed away. That was a major shock for me, and that was the first funeral I ever went to with somebody so young. And then again, a couple of months later, there was a girl, again, I remember seeing her walking in the playground. Next thing I heard, she'd had an asthma attack in the doctor's surgery, and she passed away. So again, that was another huge shock. This girl was even younger than the boy that previously passed away. The most dramatic and I think profound and had the most effect on me was my friend Diane, who I'd been close with. We used to meet up, we used to go out with each other, we used to go to each other's houses. She, and I remember distinctly being with her in PE, the last lesson of school. I remember spending time with her after we'd changed after PE, mucking around and laughing, and I remember her distinctly saying, "Oh, that's so funny." And then parted our ways, and the next time I saw her, she was laying on the floor in the road. She'd been hit by a car, and she just wasn't in a good way at all. The teacher had to come and give her resuscitation. I gave her my coat for her head, and she was her sweater that we'd switched. I saw her being ushered into the ambulance. I saw her hand drop. She was wearing quite a few of my rings that we sort of switched with each other. And that's the last I saw of her. And then days later, she had also passed away. And I think because obviously she was so much more closer with me, and again it was like month after month, another death happening. It just had such effect on me, and I just didn't know how to process it. My biggest question was, what happens after you die? I mean, nobody had ever spoken about it. Nobody had ever told me. I'd never been presented any information about what happens. It just scared me so much, and I think I did actually go through what classes depression for about a year, when I just couldn't sleep, off, and I just had so many questions but no answers. So I would go to the library, and at that time all I could think of is like near-death experiences, so I would just consume books about people explaining their near-death. That was the biggest lesson I learned from that is that there's no guarantees in life. You're not going to live until your 80s. There's absolutely no guarantees. It could be, you never know when your last day is upon you. So that was like a huge lesson. I just remember being so sort of alone in the world. I just recognised my insignificance and my, there's this major world, and I just didn't understand it. That did have a profound effect on me. It had a profound effect on my personality. But it probably wasn't until I got to university and I met Muslims where, I think, when they started presenting me information about Islam, it just filled a void within me that I didn't even know, I didn't know I had this void, but, when they started telling me information, it just made so much more sense to me now. I think you can't understand this life without understanding the hereafter. The injustice in the world, whatever, there has to be accountability in another realm. There is no justice in this world. Everybody gets injustice in this world. And also it was actually the actual prohibitions that spoke to me, and I just, in Islam there's just such a comprehensive way of life. There's every aspect of your life there is guidance on, and that is what I craved. I craved this guidance of telling me what is right and what is wrong, and I got huge comfort from that. And I think like the prohibitions, I could see that if I had those prohibitions, they would have been a protection for me. There were so many times in my life where things happened, or things I got into, or things that happened, which I didn't feel great about, and then if I was living by these rules, then I would be protected from these things that had affected me in my life. So it was actually the rules of Islam, and just seeing them in its entirety. That if everybody followed Islam as it should be, this is a divine inspiration from God. He's put creation on the world, on the earth. He's not just going to leave them there to just make up their own rules. He's going to give an instruction book. For me, Quran was like this instruction book, and the rules from the sayings of Muhammad were, they gave us all the instructions that we need. And I think when I finally decided to take my shahada and become Muslim, I think one day the best advice that I was ever given was don't judge Islam by the Muslims. Nobody from whatever religion is ever going to be a perfect representation of their beliefs. Everyone has good days, bad days. Everyone's a baggage of their past experiences that they're trying to grapple with and get over. So there are times when things haven't gone as they should, and things haven't gone as you would expect if everybody followed Islam as it should. But I always took it back to what does the Quran say? What are Muslims supposed to be like? That is how you judge the religion. And in this day and age, you can't get information from the media and how Muslims are presented. You have to go back to the sources or speak to actual Muslims. It's so important for us to mix as communities. So we can ask these questions, we shouldn't be afraid to ask these questions, the different ones. We will hear sound bites from Islam, what Islam's about. Go study or seek good knowledge, and that will give you the right information and an unbiased representation of Islam, and judge it from that, and just judge it in its entirety. Don't judge it from just one angle. So for me, I've been Muslim now 27 years. Obviously, there's been huge difficulties within that, changing from one way to another. But it's provided me the comfort through all difficulties. It's given me, prayer has just been an amazing source to turn to, and the Quran has been amazing guidance. So I can't imagine living like